Have you ever bought a premium product online or maybe picked up a vital medication from the pharmacy and just felt that sudden lingering doubt about whether it was actually real?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That tiny voice in your head.
Right. You hold it in your hand, it looks right, the packaging seems perfectly fine, but you're just wondering, is this a fake? Because you have absolutely no proof of its journey.
None at all. You're just taking it on faith.
Exactly. But what if every single physical object, I mean, every watch, every pill, every spare engine part, had an unbreakable, verifiable digital soul?
That is exactly what we are looking at today.
Yeah. So today we are diving deep into a proposed civilizational infrastructure called deep authenticity. We're going to unpack the massive global counterfeit threat it aims to neutralize, the complex tech it uses, and perhaps most importantly, why the reigning lords of the digital realm, the tech giants of GAFAM, are reacting the way they are.
Because they are already treating this as either a massive threat or a massive opportunity for their digital empires.
Right. It's like creating a universal, unforgeable passport for reality itself. But as we'll see, not everyone in the digital kingdom is thrilled about this new passport control.
No, they definitely are not. It is a profound collision between the physical world we live in and the digital architectures that currently govern our lives.
So before we get into how big tech is reacting, we really need to grasp the catastrophic scale of the problem, because the world is quite literally losing its grip on what is real. I mean, we're talking about more than just pirated DVDs and fake designer bags sold out of a trunk here, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's staggering. I mean, when you look at the data from the OECD and the European Union Intellectual Property Office, the global trade in counterfeit goods represents nearly 467 billion US dollars.
Wow.
Yeah, that is 2.3% of all international trade. And keep in mind, that's the conservative estimate.
The conservative one, let me guess, the real number is worse.
Much worse. The International Chamber of Commerce estimates this plague generates up to $2.8 trillion in annual losses.
2.8 trillion. I mean, that's larger than the GDP of most countries.
It's an invisible nation state of fraud. It destroys millions of jobs, weakens regional competitiveness, and like you said, it's not just luxury handbags. We're talking about counterfeit medications making it into hospital supply chains.
Tainted food supplies too, right?
Exactly. Tainted food, substandard airplane parts being installed on commercial jets. So it's a direct daily threat to human life and national security.
Which is terrifying. And that brings us to the visionary architect behind the proposed solution, Saeed Smallah, the creator of Deep Authenticity. He isn't just treating this as a tech problem to be solved with, like a slightly better barcode.
No, not at all. He recognized a profound philosophical and really geopolitical failing in modern civilization.
Unpack that a bit. What failing?
Well, Smallaw's core realization is that modern civilization has essentially lost the truth of objects. Think about what globalization actually did over the last few decades.
It just multiplied vital supply chains exponentially.
Right. Products now move across borders at lightning speed. They're assembled from parts sourced from 20 different countries. But in that process, states and citizens lost the ability to verify what those products actually are.
Right, so we traded transparency for velocity.
Exactly.
Like we built this high-speed global highway, but we completely forgot to build the way stations and checkpoints.
That's a really great way to look at it. And so Smallaw's vision is to establish what he calls material sovereignty.
Material sovereignty.
Yeah, the idea of giving states and citizens back the power to see, understand, and protect what actually enters their economies. So deep authenticity is designed as a global standard to restore trust.
By giving every physical product a digital passport.
Exactly. You stabilize sensitive markets, you severely weaken criminal networks, and you basically allow international cooperation to happen on a foundation of absolute verified truth.
Okay, wait, pause for a second. I mean, I love the vision, but let's talk logistics.
Yeah.
You're saying we track every single pill, every car part, every luxury good on Earth.
That is the goal, yes.
Giving states total visibility. I mean, traditional government databases can barely handle a DMV line on a Tuesday.
That's entirely fair.
So how does a global tracking system not just instantly collapse under its own weight or just become this massive administrative nightmare?
Well, that is the exact hurdle that has stopped this from happening before. If you rely on traditional databases, barcodes, customs bureaucrats manually stamping shipping, the system collapses on day one.
Right. It's just too much data.
Way too much. So to manage billions of objects without drowning in data or failing under security breaches, you need an interconnected self-adapting technological fortress.
And that is where the operational platform comes in. Authenticity Plus.
Yes, Authenticity Plus is the engine actually running Smala's vision, and it relies on 5 distinct pillars of technology working in perfect synchronization.
Okay, let's break down how they actually work together, because this is where it gets really interesting. Starting with the physical link, the Internet of Things, or IoT. How does a physical object, like, say, a single pharmaceutical pill bottle, actually talk to the digital world?
Through sensors, NFC chips, RFID tags, and specialized scratchable QR codes. Basically, through a protocol called AP Connect, the physical product is permanently linked to a digital identity the exact moment it's created.
So the object itself becomes smart.
Right. You don't look up the object in a database. The object broadcasts its own proof of authenticity to you.
Okay, so the object gets a voice. It can say, hey, I am a real bottle of heart medication. But how do we ensure someone doesn't just copy that voice? How do we remember its true history?
That brings us to Pillar 2, the blockchain, specifically the AP ledger.
The memory of the system.
Exactly. It's a decentralized, immutable register. Every single time that pill bottle leaves the factory, hits a shipping container, arrives at customs, and lands on a pharmacy shelf, that transaction is permanently inscribed.
And it can never be erased or altered.
Never. And crucially, it is interoperable with other chains, like Ethereum and sovereign government systems.
Wait, memory can still be intercepted or spoofed, right? Like if I'm a really sophisticated counterfeiter, I might try to hack the transmission between the chip and the blockchain?
You could try. But not if you hit Pillar 3, cryptography. This is the guard of the system. Authenticity Plus uses highly advanced math, specifically ECC 512-bit asymmetric encryption.
Hold on. Let's translate ECC 512-bit asymmetric encryption into English for a second.
Fair enough, yeah. Think of ECC or elliptic curve cryptography like a mathematical padlock. It uses complex geometric curves to create a puzzle so insanely difficult that if every supercomputer on Earth tried to guess the key to unlock your specific data,
Let me guess, it would take 1,000,000 years.
longer, the sun would literally burn out before they cracked it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's combined with multi-level SHA-3 hashing, which takes any data and scrambles it into a unique fixed-length digital fingerprint. So every single piece of data becomes a mathematical, indisputable proof.
So even if the counterfeiter intercepts the signal, all they get is just a mathematically unbreakable wall of noise.
Exactly, it's useless to them. But a system this large can't just be a static wall, right? It has to be self-adapting to handle billions of items.
Which brings us to Pillar 4, artificial intelligence.
Right. The AI is the brain. It uses advanced neural networks, specifically CNN and RNN architectures.
Unpack those acronyms for us. Because when people hear AI right now, they think of chatbots. How is this different?
Oh, it's very different. This is pattern recognition on a global scale. CNN stands for convolutional neural networks, which are incredible at processing spatial data.
Okay, spatial data like what?
Imagine the AI looking at the global map of shipping routes and visually spotting anomalies in how products are physically clustering at a specific port.
Oh, I see.
And then RNN stands for recurrent neural networks, which process sequential data over time. So the RNN looks at the history of a supply chain and predicts, based on how the shipment is behaving over the last 48 hours, there is a 90% chance it has been tampered with.
So the AI is actually learning and predicting.
Exactly. If a counterfeit ring tries a new tactic in, say, Southeast Asia, the AI instantly recognizes the pattern and updates the security protocols for the entire global system.
Okay, let me try to synthesize this. If the object is, like, a VIP guest, IoT is the ID badge, cryptography is the bouncer at the door checking the microscopic watermark, AI is the security camera looking for suspicious behavior over time, and the blockchain is the permanent guest book that can never be erased.
That is a perfect analogy. It's a complete convergence. But there is one final, really crucial pillar, the cloud.
Right, because all this data has to live somewhere.
Exactly. And if you are a sovereign government, you do not want your national security, the movement of your critical medicines and defense parts sitting on a private server halfway across the world.
Yeah, you want that data within your own borders.
Right. So the AP Cloud guarantees state sovereignty. It segments data by jurisdiction. It ensures that national data never leaves a country's territory without official authorization.
That is a huge selling point for governments.
It is. And interestingly, the architecture includes a secure offline mode.
Wait, how does that work? You verify a digital tag without the internet.
Yes. Meaning, Even if you are in a remote area with zero internet access, the cryptographic chips hold the encrypted proof locally. You can scan it, and the math proves it's real without ever needing to ping a server in the cloud.
It's like a downloaded boarding pass that cryptographically proves you bought a ticket, even if your phone is in airplane mode.
Exactly.
So now that we understand this airtight sovereign system of truth, we reach what I think is the most fascinating part of this deep dive, our main focus. What happens when this sovereign system of absolute material truth bumps up against the current rulers of the digital economy? The GAFAM: Google, Apple, Meta, Amazon, and Microsoft.
Yeah, this is where the technological architecture becomes a massive geopolitical chess match. To understand this collision, we really have to recognize the sheer dominance of these five giants.
They're essentially nations unto themselves at this point.
They really are. They dictate digital value chains, they own the physical cloud infrastructures that the internet actually runs on, and they heavily influence state sovereignty.
And when you look closely at how these tech giants operate, based on the source document we're analyzing, absolute material truth isn't just an abstract concept for them, is it? It's a direct variable that either massively upgrades or fundamentally threatens their core business models.
Absolutely. The structural analysis of how each of these giants perceives the deep authenticity system reveals their deepest vulnerabilities and strategic goals. So let's start with Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, how does Meta view all this?
Meta views deep authenticity as a direct threat.
A threat? Wait, a system that proves a physical object is real threatens a social media company. Walk us through that mechanism.
Well, think about Meta's entire dominance. It is entirely informational and heavily curated. They control a massive, closed ecosystem.
Right?
Their primary strength is their global audience, but their business model is totally dependent on an opaque attention economy. They curate reality for billions of users through algorithms designed to maximize engagement and serve targeted advertising.
So they live in a world where data is malleable, where they decide what you see based on what keeps you scrolling.
Exactly. Meta has immense power, but their weaknesses are their closed nature and their constant struggles with regulatory pushback over data privacy, surveillance, and misinformation.
And then you introduce Authenticity Plus.
Right. You introduce a decentralized, state-backed, mathematically verifiable system of truth. It bypasses Meta's algorithmic control completely.
Oh, I see.
It creates a transparent reality anchored in the physical world that Meta cannot manipulate, filter, or easily monetize through their traditional ad-driven model. A transparent state-sovereign system of truth is basically antithetical to an ecosystem built on opaque data harvesting.
Wow. So for Meta, verifiable physical truth is a bug, not a feature. Because if truth is decentralized and cryptographic, they can't act as the ultimate middleman for reality anymore.
Exactly. It undermines their core model.
That is fascinating. Okay, what about Google? Because they also rely on ads and data harvesting. Are they equally threatened?
Actually, no. Google is a fascinating contrast here. Their reaction is best described as a mix of intense curiosity and strategic prudence, specifically regarding predictive modeling.
But why the difference? I mean, they sell ads too. Why aren't they threatened like Meta?
Because Google's core DNA is fundamentally different. Their mission has always been to organize the world's information. Their dominant strength is big data and artificial intelligence.
Right. I mean, Google search controls roughly 90% of the market.
Exactly. So now imagine a world running on deep authenticity, where billions of physical objects, cars, watches, medicine, food, are constantly generating pristine, mathematically verified data about their location, status, and velocity.
Oh, wow. That is an unprecedented ocean of behavioral data.
Yes, Google's AI models would absolutely feast on that. They want to map the behavioral patterns of the physical economy just like they map our search histories or physical roads with Google Maps.
They could build predictive models of global commerce that literally no one else could touch.
Exactly.
So why the prudence then? Why aren't they just jumping in head first?
Because deep authenticity is built on state sovereignty and a decentralized blockchain. Google is used to owning the infrastructure. They want the data the system generates, sure, but they are highly cautious about relying on a foundational system they don't fundamentally control or own the servers for. They want the insight, but they fear the decentralization.
That makes total sense. They want the map, but they want to own the paper it's printed on.
Perfect way to put it.
All right, let's pivot from the data harvesters to the hardware makers.
Yeah.
How does Apple view this new universal passport for physical goods?
Apple is uniquely positioned to embrace this. They align strongly with the ethical vision and the technological sovereignty aspect of deep authenticity.
That tracks perfectly with their brand. I mean, Apple's entire marketing strategy over the last few years has been privacy and security.
Right. Their core strength is incredible customer loyalty built around a highly secure premium hardware ecosystem. Think about the secure enclave inside an iPhone.
Yeah.
Apple's value proposition is that they are the safest vault for your digital life. And deep authenticity relies heavily on secure IoT, NFC chips, and cryptography at the physical device level to prove an object is real.
So they see themselves as a secure vault, and deep authenticity provides perfectly secure, verified items to interact with that vault.
Exactly. Apple appreciates this privacy-first, hardware-secured approach. It aligns seamlessly with their messaging that the user and their data should be protected from outside manipulation or counterfeiting.
So for Apple, integrating with a system that guarantees you are buying a 100% real product using your iPhone only deepens their walled gardens value.
It's a huge win for their ecosystem.
Okay, moving on to the giant of global e-commerce, Amazon. I have to imagine they are looking at this tracking system and just salivating
Oh, Amazon sees massive, almost unparalleled opportunities here, specifically in the realms of economic and logistical simulation.
because they live and die by the efficiency of the supply chain.
Right. Amazon is the undisputed leader in global logistics and cloud infrastructure with AWS. Their physical fulfillment network is just a modern marvel, but their greatest weakness is the immense regulatory pressure they face globally.
Regarding counterfeit goods flooding their third-party marketplace, right?
Exactly. It's a huge problem. If you buy a fake product on Amazon, even if a third-party seller listed it, it damages Amazon's brand and invites lawsuits and government crackdowns.
So now imagine giving Amazon a flawless, unforgeable tracking system for physical goods.
It is the holy grail for their business model. If deep authenticity becomes the global standard, Amazon can seamlessly integrate it into their massive logistics network to guarantee 100% genuine products to their customers.
It instantly neutralizes one of their biggest regulatory headaches.
Instantly. And what's more, it allows for incredible logistical simulation.
What do you mean by logistical simulation, like digital twins?
Yes, digital twins. If every object is verified and tracked with absolute precision, Amazon's AI can simulate global trade routes, predict warehouse capacities, and optimize fulfillment with a level of data accuracy that was previously impossible.
It turns the chaotic physical world into a perfectly predictable digital simulation.
Exactly.
Which leaves us with Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
What are their angle in all of this? Because they aren't selling ads like Meta, and they aren't shipping physical boxes like Amazon.
No, Microsoft is positioned for a strategic foundational institutional partnership. Of all the GAFAM giants, Microsoft has the greatest operational compatibility with Smala's vision.
Really? Why Microsoft?
Because Microsoft is the standard for enterprise software and government systems. They don't fight in the messy trenches of social media algorithms or consumer e-commerce. Their empire is built on operating systems, enterprise cloud solutions with Azure, and massive B2B and B2G business to government contracts. They already work deeply with defense departments, sovereign governments, and massive global institutions.
Ah, I see where you're going with this. Because Deep Authenticity's entire vision is built on empowering state sovereignty, giving governments the tools to track vital goods, integrate with customs, and secure their borders from fakes.
Precisely. Microsoft already provides the software architecture those states use to run their governments. Now, Microsoft has vulnerabilities in cybersecurity, as all massive networks do,
Oh, yeah.
but partnering with a cryptographically secure sovereign system like Authenticity Plus strengthens their offering to governments. They don't want to disrupt the state. They want to provide the infrastructure for the state.
So Smala's vision of empowering material sovereignty just fits perfectly into Microsoft's institutional model.
Like a glove.
That is an incredible breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
So Meta is threatened by the transparency. Google hungers for the predictive behavioral data, but fears the decentralization. Apple loves the hardware-level privacy. Amazon wants to use it to perfectly simulate their logistics and kill counterfeits. And Microsoft wants to be the institutional backbone connecting it all to governments.
Exactly.
It just proves that for big tech, truth isn't some absolute moral value, is it? It's a structural commodity. It's a variable that either accelerates their specific monopoly or fundamentally disrupts it.
It highlights a profound geopolitical reality. The implementation of a system like deep authenticity won't just be about convincing a few governments to adopt a new standards.
No, you have to navigate the giants.
Right. It will require navigating the massive gravitational pull of the GFAM. Some of these giants will act as accelerants, integrating the standard to optimize their own operations and crush the black market. Others may resist it, seeing state-backed, verifiable material truth as a systemic threat to their closed, opaque empires.
It is quite literally a battle for reality.
Yeah.
And the tech giants are deciding right now which version of reality serves them best. So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Let's bring this sprawling, multi-trillion-dollar geopolitical chess match back down to your daily life.
Yeah, the practical application.
Exactly. The next time you buy a high-end product online or rely on a critical medication, realize that you are standing at the absolute center of this battle. We are moving away from an era where you just had to blindly trust the label on a box or blindly trust the algorithm of an online marketplace.
We are moving toward an era where you might have absolute mathematically proven material truth right in the palm of your hand.
The object itself, backed by impenetrable cryptography and decentralized ledgers, will prove its journey to you.
It really represents a monumental leap forward in consumer safety, public health, and economic stability. I mean, it is the end of the shadow economy.
But of course, every massive civilizational leap comes with profound questions. We started this deep dive talking about the comfort of knowing, right? The very human desire to have a digital soul for every physical object to eliminate the shadow economy of fakes. But I want to leave you with a thought that flips that comfort on its head.
Yeah, this is the really challenging part. If deep authenticity succeeds in its mission, if every vital physical object on Earth is perfectly authenticated, tracked, and visible to sovereign states to eliminate the black market, what happens to the very concept of anonymity?
Think about it.
In a world where absolute material truth and safety are guaranteed by the state and by technology, is there any room left to simply be untracked?
Right, because if your watch, the clothes on your back, and the medication in your pocket are constantly cryptographically proving your reality to a global network, your physical life becomes entirely visible.
Exactly. Is the price of eliminating the trillion-dollar counterfeit industry the end of moving through the physical world unnoticed?
It is the ultimate modern trade-off. We gain the absolute mathematical certainty we crave when unboxing a premium product or taking a life-saving pill. But in exchange, we might give up the shadows entirely. Something to think about the next time you feel that lingering doubt about what's real.